everyone, this is Alease Michelle, your personal branding coach and best-selling author of Greatness is in a Comeback. And I really want to show you these really, I don't know how quick it's going to be. I had a client who sent me an email asking me how can she create a really nice graphic, like an about me kind of graphic in her sidebar of her blog. So I thought that it would be a lot easier to put together this tutorial for her so she can actually see the process. And here's the thing. What I'm going to show you and her also is that you can do this using software that you already have on your computer, like PowerPoint. And I think if you have a Mac, it's considered Keynote. So, but for this purposes, I'm going to be using a PC. So most of the things I'm going to show you are PC based. And again, this is your basic newer version of PowerPoint. Okay, so be patient with me because I am doing this as if I will do it for myself. So I might leave out some steps and have to come back and explain them to you. All right. So here is the first slide or first thing that you see when you open up PowerPoint. And it typically is a slide with a click to add title and a click to add subtitle. In your slide or page or format, whatever you want to call it, is going to be landscape, and it's going to be 8.5 by 11, but I want to change it. Okay, and then I'm gonna change it, and then I'm gonna show you what kind of graphic that she was actually wanting to create. Okay, and so we're gonna use it as inspiration. All right, so what I would do is go over here to click on the tab that says design, and then I will go over to slide orientation, and I will change it to portrait. Okay, so now we have a portrait 8.5 by 11 page. And then I'm gonna go over to page setup, and I'm gonna change the size of it. And I'm gonna go with, and this is just, I'm just estimating. Okay, so nothing is written in stone. I'm just estimating and eyeballing things. So I'm gonna change the width to 4, and I'm gonna change the height to 6. Because 9 times out of 10, most of the times, the way I'm going to show you how to insert this into your sidebar, it's going to adjust the um, size of your graphic. And I like to tend to start large so I can make sure my text is not pixelated when I go into it. Okay. So this is, you see that my size has changed. It's a little thinner. It's a little shorter, but a lot thinner. And I think that's going to look better in the sidebar. All right, so let me go ahead and paste the graphic that she wanted me to copy or use as inspiration. This is the inspiration. She was like, oh, I want my graphic to look sort of like this. So I was like, okay. So I'm going to show you how I would create this. Something very similar to it. All right. Here's another thing that I typically like to do. I don't like to have this click to add title. I don't like to work with this. I like to work with a blank slide. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to delete this. So now that I have my inspiration and I have basically what my page, my canvas would look like, now I'm ready to sort of design. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for a picture that goes like in the center, around in the center area right here. And I think I'm going to use my picture. So I'm going to go into insert picture, and this means it's going to pull up a picture from my desktop. Let me see, do I have any pictures? Oh, let me just, did I have one? I'm gonna do this one. Nothing really special or fancy about it, okay? And it's pretty large. So what I need to do, because this is smaller, I need to crop it. All right. So always, if you're going to size your image, always grab from the corner, never from the sides. Because if you grab from the sides, it takes your picture, it makes your picture unproportional, and you don't want that. Okay, it takes a fat makes a skinny girl fat, and it makes a fat girl even fatter, so we don't want that. Always grab from the corners. So I'm going to size from the corner, and but as you notice, her picture is a little bit more square like, and mine's is a lot more rectangle, so I'm gonna crop it a little bit. So here's the cropping tool. I'm moving a little fast. When you have your picture selected, the picture tool tab will pop up. If it's not selected, let me go back a little bit. If it's not selected, you do not see that pink tab, picture tool tab. So when I select it, pink picture tool tab, and then a new bar pops up, a new menu bar pops up, and then you actually are able to crop it. All right, so I am going to crop it and make it a little bit more square-like. And then I'm going to click on the side. It's still not exact, but it's very close. So I'm going to put that. And I made it a little bigger by putting it in the middle. I want to make sure to leave room at the top for the hello all kind of thing. And then I don't know what I'm going to write right here, but I figure out something. Right? Right. So then the next thing that I would do is I would start with the hello all kind of thing. You know, let me go back. If you want a little fancy technique to it or something a little bit more, you know, other than this color picture, I can make this picture black and white, very similar to the inspiration picture. So what I would do is click, make sure my picture is selected. You'll see that I have the picture toolbar, and then you'll see that there is a tab over here called color, um, or app or whatever you want to call it. Some images called color. So I select that, and you see I have all these different options to make my picture a little bit more, you know, give it a little bit more umph. So if I'm going to make it black and white, I can actually choose one of these black and white options. I think I'm going to go with this one. If I think this picture is a little too dark, I can go over here to color corrections and make it a little lighter. Let's see. That looks pretty good. That's sharpen and soften technique, so that looks pretty good. I might go back over here a little bit more and see if I can lighten it just a tad bit. You know, it's not the best picture in the world, but it does, it works, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna work with the title, this hello all. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a font that looks exactly like that, but I'm just working on layout. So I'm gonna go and insert text bar box. So you go up to the tab and look for the word insert, and I'm looking for text box. And then I'm going to draw a text box at the top. And then I'm going to type hello all with an exclamation. And immediately PowerPoint defaults to its regular type. And so I'm going to highlight it to give me some other type options. And I'm not sure if I even have a font that's in that same style. I'm very, I love Centric Gothic, so I'm gonna go with that. That's my favorite font, and so I'm gonna go with Centric Gothic. Doesn't mean that you have to go with that, but that's my favorite font. And I'm going to enlarge my font a little bit. So let's say I don't want it too big. Let's say 32, and I'm gonna move it up a little bit because it's overlapping. And then the other thing I want to make sure is to center it because hers is centered. Okay. So that looks okay. Here's another trick I like to show is that if you look under the text, the font names and size, you see you have bold, you got underline, you have italic, I'm sorry, and then you have this other button that has an AV and it has a double-headed arrow. And this will allow you to space your words, like space in between each letter. So if I do loose, you see that the word is spaced out a little bit more. If I do very loose, it spreads out a lot. Very loose doesn't, it looks like I'm writing like for a child. Loose looks very good. I could go tight, and tight sometimes works very well, but I want a little looser, okay? A looser font, a loose space in between your words gives a more casual appeal, okay? So I've got the hello there, and I'm gonna do the same thing for this bottom half, okay? Um, and I don't know what I'm gonna put there. Maybe I'll go somewhere to my Facebook page and type in something, or I put in some gibberish or whatever. So I'm going to go in here and insert another text box, and I'm gonna put this here. And what I'm going to do is make sure I use the same font style that I used for hello there for this part. You don't want to use two different fonts because it's a little confusing. You want your layout to be as consistent as possible and easy to read for your reader who comes to your blog. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to look for Central Gothic. And because I've already used it, it's already there. And I'm going to go choose my font size to be 12. 12 is a little bit more readable font. Most of our textbooks that we read and magazines are in 12 font. So basically what I'm going to do is copy, I'm Alease, and I am a personal branding coach and best-selling author of, I'm putting quotes, greatness is in the comeback. If you are interested in connecting with me, email, or I say inbox me, or send me a Facebook request. Now you guys get the point. And let's type this. So I got an exclamation point and a period. All right. So that's about the as much as I'm going to write. I mean, you get the idea of it. And so to make sure everything is centered, I'm going to center my text so it lines up. Here's another trick that I like to do is to make sure that my text box is the same width as my picture. I did that with this one too, that my text box up here is the same width, because when you go to center your text, then you know it's in the center of this particular image. Okay, so that looks pretty okay, right? It looks very close. I didn't choose a font, but we're working with something. We got something more than we had before. All right. So how do I change this slide or make this slide into a JPEG or a graphic that you can actually insert into your sidebar? All right. Here's the neat little trick, and I love this. I'm going to go ahead and delete this over to the side. All right. So all you have to do, and it's really easy, is to go over here to File, Save As, right? And then you go ahead and title it. I'm going to call it my sidebar image. And right here, I'm going to move it over so you can see it a little better. Right here, you at the Save As type, I'm going to select and find JPEG. Okay. And then once I hit Save, a box is going to appear and say, do you want to export every slide in the presentation or only the current slide? Well, it's only one slide in this particular example, so I'm only going to say current slide. And it should save on my desktop. I didn't check to make sure. It might went into my images, which is fine, but make sure you know where you actually saving this to. I have a bad habit of not paying attention to that. But then you hit save current slide only. All right, and it should be in my picture box as a JPEG. So hold on, minimize it. You should see there it is. It's a JPEG. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to show you how to insert this into your sidebar. Alright guys, here I am back again, and in this video I want to show you how to insert that image that we just created, a sidebar image, into your blog sidebar. Now here I'm on the back end of one of my other blogs that I write for. I haven't written on this for a long time, but anyway, I'm in the layout section of the blog. So this is, if you don't know where this is, you go over to the left hand side and there is a tab that says layout. Okay, and what you want to do is add a gadget, and depending on your layout, my layout's this way, post on this side and my sidebar over to this side. You might have things underneath or on the side. This process works on both things. So what you want to do is add a gadget, and you want to scroll down and look for image. So I'm going to click here, and this is really easy. And so you have to give it a title. I realized that the hard way, so I'm going to say this is about me. You don't necessarily need a caption, but if you want this to be linkable, like to when someone they can actually click on the image and it would take them somewhere else, you need to put a URL there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a URL to my other site so you can see that it actually changes. And then what you need to do is locate the picture that you just saved as a JPEG, and it is on my desktop. So a sidebar image. And to ensure that it fits, I go ahead and uh, shrink to fit. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All right. So the about me, you'll see that a new widget was added to my sidebar. Now I can go and say view blog, and the image is over to the side. Okay. What I realized is that I should have made my type a little bigger. Right here, this was 12 point. I think I could have went up to maybe 14 or 16 if I only had a little bit to say. So that's it. That's how you insert. Oh, let me show you how that is clickable. So if I click on this, it should take me to my other blog, the aleasemichelle.com blog. And it does. It takes you right there to it. So now I have an actual clickable. And let's go back. My image is clickable, and I also have a image in my sidebar. All right, so that is the lesson for today. Thank you.